you need to practice completing the square. For certain scenarios over here where they're not entirely the ones you're used to, because when you're dealing with completing the square questions, you're pretty used to the ones where you just do bracket x plus a squared plus b like this. As you're used to doing the really basic ones, right? You understand x squared plus 6x plus 9. I'm pretty sure you know how to complete the square for that. You know it's going to be x plus 3 squared like this. Or if you have x squared plus 6x plus 3, you would know it's going to be x plus 3 squared like this, minus 6. So these are the basic ones that you're used to. What we're looking at over here is, it's a scenario where then it's not that common, but it does come up, and you probably haven't seen before. Because be honest, right, you look at this in the form negative. Does this kind of confuse you right now? The negative 2 in front of the x plus a fucks you over, doesn't it? Yeah? So here's what I want you to focus on, okay? Look at this first off. It's 2 marks. 2 marks means nothing crazy. What they're really testing you on over here is, if you have negative 2x squared plus 12x minus 3, f of x is equal to this. Do you understand the significance of x plus a squared? If you have x plus 2 squared, for example, do you know it's going to be x squared plus 4x? And no matter what, there's going to be a 4x component happening over there, isn't it? Like the x component is going to be double of whatever 2 times x is. Just like if you had an x plus 3 squared, it's going to be x squared plus double whatever component of 3 times x is, which is 6x. Why is it useful? Because it's going to be multiplied by negative 2 no matter what. So my point is this, okay? When you're dealing with this question, negative 2x squared plus 12x minus 3 equals to negative 2. That's what it really means, expressing it in this form. I mean, you do realize it's going to be the same thing as making these two equal to each other. They have to be equal to each other because you're not changing what's being written. It's just expressing in the same form. So my point is, do you get that x plus a squareds? Let me write this out more clearly. Negative 2 bracket x plus a squareds plus b. Look at this. Negative 2 times whatever inside of here. There's no x component anywhere else, isn't it? Everything inside that bracket times negative 2 has to create negative 2x squared is my points. Because left-hand side equals right-hand side. Negative 2x squared. Negative 2 has to be multiplied with what? The bracket inside of here has to create x squared. So x plus a squared, that's already going to create x squared, isn't it? Times by negative 2, that satisfies this, no problem. But the a component, a times x, is going to create 2ax. Are you confused about why x plus a squared creates 2ax? Or you see where that comes from? If you see where that comes from, and you know it's going to be, you're not confused about why it has to be multiplied with negative 2, does that create negative 4ax like this? Yeah, my point is, if you know whatever's inside the x plus a squared has to be multiplied with negative 2 to create 12x, doesn't that mean negative 2 has to be multiplied with minus 6x over here? That's the only way you're going to create plus 12x. Negative 2 times minus 6x. How are you going to create minus 6x? It only happens when you have x minus 3 squared, isn't it? Because that's how you're going to create a minus 6x components. So that's how you know straight away, plus a has to be minus 3. So that's how you started off with equals to negative 2 bracket x minus 3 squared like this. Because it has to happen, otherwise you're not going to create the minus 2x squared or the plus 12x. Once you have this, the remaining b part is very obvious, because look at this, negative 2 times, what's the minus 3? X minus 3 squared, is it going to create a plus 9? Negative 3 times negative 3. Do you know what we're talking about? Negative 3 times negative 3 creates a plus 9, which gets multiplied by negative 2 to create negative 18. What do we have on the left-hand side? Negative 3. What do we have so far? Negative 18. How do we create negative 3? Oh, we must add what over here to create negative 3? Positive 15. And that's how we got this. So recognizing over here, minus 3 squared creates negative 6x, which times by negative 2 creates plus 12x. X times x creates x squared, which times by negative 2 creates minus 2x squared. And then remaining component, you just visualize what number is going to be over here. Negative 2 times negative 3 times negative 3, which is positive 9, times by negative 2 creates negative 18, plus 15 is how you're going to create negative 3.